We're going to do a legislative update, then we're going to do Q&A, and we'll get started here in just a moment when people get on. Go ahead and like this video, share it, especially if you're in Oklahoma. Share it, get it out, and we'll start going here in just a few moments. We'll go the All right, so we're going to jump into this again. Especially if you're in Oklahoma, please be liking the video, sharing the video in your groups and on your own page. And as we're talking about this, make comments on the video. That helps it as well. And also, if you have any questions about anything that I'm saying throughout the video, you can type them, and at the end, we'll go back through and answer any questions that you have. The purpose of this video, this is actually quite important. Here in the state of Oklahoma, we do have a Senate bill that's an abolition bill from Warren Hamilton and Jake Merrick, but we also this year have a new House bill, 4111. The author of that bill is Representative Van Kuren, and there are also 4 other co-authors for the bill. And right now, House Bill 4111 has been assigned to the Rules Committee, and the deadline for HB 4111 to pass out of that committee is next Thursday. So it's in a committee to be heard, to be voted on there before it goes to the House for discussion and a vote. But that all has to happen by next Thursday. So the final House Rules Committee hearing before the deadline is next Tuesday. So we roughly have the following week through Tuesday to try to get them to move on this bill. Now, I've been up there quite a bit this year, as well as Sam Riley, Tim Gillespie, Rachel. We've all been up there really working with our new author, working with folks in the House for the first time. We've usually been working on the Senate side, but this year we're focusing on the House side because there are some very strong and powerful anti-abolitionists who are in leadership of the Senate, and we just don't know how it's going to be happening in the House. So this year, we need you to focus with us on House Speaker Charles McCall and the House Rule Committee Chairman Mike Osborne. And so we're going to be putting their information here. But just so you understand what's going down, the bill has been filed. Sorry. I can hear someone is watching this video somewhere in our office, and it's like loud, and I can hear myself talking. It's annoying. Sorry about that. This bill has been filed, HB 4111, and has been assigned to the House Rules Committee, and the House Rules Committee chair is Mike Osborne. From our conversations with him, other conversations with him, he is not an anti-abolitionist. He's not antagonistic to abolition, but he's not himself an abolitionist. And Charles McCall, who is the head of the House, he also is not really on record as opposing abolition. He's not on record of doing anything to help abolition, but he's not on record as opposing abolition. And so while you are contacting these 2 men, we just ask that you would be asking them kindly, encouraging them to help move House Bill 4111 through the process so that we can move it on to the Senate and continue the battle there. So you can reach Speaker Charles McCall. We're going to put his information up here on the screen. His email address is charles.mccall@okhouse.gov. And we've also put his phone number down there, 405-557-7412. The recommendation here would just to be urging him kindly, politely, say, hey, Charles McCall, you are the Speaker of the House. If he's your representative, make note that he's your representative. But even if he's not your representative and you're just in Oklahoma, as the Speaker, he has to represent all of Oklahoma. Urge him as an Oklahoman to pass, to encourage Mike Osborne to hear and pass House Bill 4111. So when you're contacting him, and we would urge you to call him. You may end up leaving a message on his machine, but also to email him. In the email, just say, hey, I'm an abolitionist. I live in Oklahoma. I know that House Bill 4111 is there sitting, that Van Kuren has authored, and that it's sitting in the Rules Committee. If Charles McCall messages Mike Osborne and says, yes, I want you to hear that bill, that is all it will take. Mike Osborne will schedule the bill, they'll hear it, they'll pass it, because he's the Speaker of the House, and that's the way that that role functions. So if he can get behind that bill, he's a key figure. Now, if he opposes the bill, it'll be kind of like he's become the Greg Treat of the House. But again, we just do not know where he stands on abolition and establishing justice for the preborn in Oklahoma. The other guy that we really want you to contact as well is the chairman of the Rules Committee, and his name is Mike Osborne, Osburn. We'll put his name and information there, Mike.Osborne at okhouse.gov. And the recommendation here is he's the chair of the Rules Committee where the bill has been assigned. And sometimes a committee chair with a bill that's either controversial or a bill that he's not sure about or whatever, they will just sort of not hear it and they'll let it die. And again, if by next Thursday it is not passed out of committee, the bill will die. So just encourage Representative Osborne to hear the bill, pass the bill. He is not someone who has shown any antipathy towards abolition, has been in conversations about it, but he's not a card-carrying abolitionist in Oklahoma. He is a pro-life representative, but he's not one who is opposing us. So again, approach him kindly, encouraging him to hear the bill, tell him that you support the bill. If you are in his district there in sort of the Edmond area, let him know that he is your representative and that you vote, and this is something you'd want him to do. But if you're also just from Oklahoma and you're not in the district, let him know as the committee chair of the Rules Committee with a bill that Oklahomans want across the entire state, that you would urge him to hear the bill and pass the bill. A little bit about the Rules Committee. It is, like most of the committees in Oklahoma, made up of a majority of Republicans and a majority of Republicans who are conservative and claim to be pro-life Christians. So if the bill is heard in that committee, it is very likely that it'll be passed. They will not be hearing any other pro-life bills to pass instead of it. It'll be the only bill on abortion that they are hearing in that committee. So if you're a constituent of McCall or Osborne, include that in your message. But if you aren't, again, tell them that they are making decisions for the entire state, and they're making decisions for all the preborn human beings living in the state, and that they need to listen to what you have as well. Encourage them to take it up themselves. For instance, Charles McCall, he, as the Speaker of the House, can actually go to the Rules Committee on the day that it is being heard and cast a vote in favor of it. That would do the bill's wonder. It would help the bill quite a bit. It would almost guarantee its passage out of the House. So just want to reiterate real quickly the importance of calling McCall and Osborne. If we can, is there a way to put up both of their information again here at the end? If we can get you to place a phone call and send an email, and to do that today and then again over the weekend, just telling them, we want you to take up HB 4111. We want you to support it. We want you to pass it. And we just want to be heard on this. Even if they are not supporters of criminalizing abortion, if enough people in Oklahoma want this thing to be heard, they're going to hear it. So that is the main bit of information to update you guys on the committee. Just to say one thing about the Senate bill, you might be wondering about Hamilton and Merrick's Senate bill. It doesn't look like it's going to be heard in committee, and for the same reasons of the past few years, Greg McCourtney, Greg Treat, those guys, and the sort of stranglehold they have. The Oklahoma Senate is dominated by pro-life Republicans who have the power to abolish abortion, and they've had a bill before them since 2016, but they have not acted. So we're hoping and praying for a better result from the House, but we got to do our due diligence and tell them that we want this thing heard and passed for the sake of our preborn neighbors. Okay, so that'll be the update there. I'll reiterate it here at the end, but do we have any questions that we need to get to? So we'll wait just one moment. I'll take a sip of my coffee, and then if there are any questions specifically, we'll answer them. If not, I'll just repeat a few details, and we'll be done. pretty good. Man, I must have just been really clear. Okay, so again, we want everybody to contact Charles McCall. He's the Speaker of the House. His phone number is 405-557-7412. His email address is charles.mccall@okhouse.gov. Message him or email him, leave a phone message, just basically urging him to support House Bill 4111. It's the abolition bill. Let them know that you're an abolitionist. Let them know that you support abolishing abortion, that you support criminalizing abortion. House Bill 4111 does that. And just for those of you who haven't yet read the language of the bill at this time, it is a very simple, streamlined bill. It criminalizes abortion as murder, removing the exception to practice abortion as a permissible murder in the state of Oklahoma, and it criminalizes it for both the person performing the abortion, providing the abortion drugs, and the person receiving the abortion or hiring the abortionist or getting their child aborted. It's a very simple, strong bill, and it also repeals. The original language we wanted was just superseding pro-life bills, but after talking to the legal folks there at the Capitol, said no, these bills need to be repealed. These pro-life laws do, in fact, allow abortion to be practiced, even if you criminalize it. So it is repealing all laws and regulations allowing abortion in the state of Oklahoma. So that's House Bill 4111. And finally, we want everybody to email mike.osburn@okhouse.gov. And that's Mike Osburn spelled M-I-K-E, and Osburn is spelled O-S-B-U-R-N. And he is the chairman of the House Rules Committee. That is the committee where House Bill 4111 currently sits and awaits to be heard. Urge Chairman Osburn to hear that bill and to pass that bill on to the House where it can be voted on by the full Oklahoma State House. So it's exciting times. We've got a House bill and a Senate bill. The House bill looks like it could very well move this year. And the further it moves and the more people who get to vote or not vote on it gives us information who to help remain in the House and who to sort of get rid of. The people who don't help abolition bills are the kind of people that we'd want to run candidates against and replace in the future. So even as this process goes along, every step we gain more and more information about who is and is not a friend of the preborn here in the state of Oklahoma or a friend of establishing justice. So we really need you guys to contact Charles McCall, Speaker of the House, and Chairman Mike Osburn. If you got on the stream late, just roll back a little bit, write down their names, their email addresses, their phone numbers, and please do that today. We really need a lot of folks to do that today, and then also do it again on Saturday or Sunday. Monday morning, when Charles McCall and Mike Osburn check their messages, their machines need to be full, and their email boxes need to be predominated with calls to support the total and immediate abolition of abortion. So that's the legislative update. Thank you for tuning in, liking it, sharing it, and most importantly, helping us out by contacting these representatives. Thank you.